Welcome you all to this new session of computer graphics. Today we will be dealing with visible surface detection method. In this category, there are many algorithms that can be used for detecting the visible surfaces. But for the time being, we are dealing with the method called depth buffer method. This method is also known as Z buffer method. So let us see what is this depth buffer method. In this method, we'll be using two buffers. Now what is meant by buffer? Buffer means a temporary storage, or we can say a memory, or simply a register which is capable of storing a value. Okay, so we'll be using two different buffers in this method. Let us see which are these buffers. One buffer is known as refresh buffer. It is also known as intensity buffer. Now what is this buffer, or why is this used? Intensity buffer or refresh buffer can be used to store the intensity values for each pixel in the screen. We know that our screen is divided into number of rows and columns. Due to this division, the smallest division obtained is called a cell. This cell is so small that it can hold only a single dot within it. And when we try to plot a single dot within this cell, that plotting point is known as a pixel. While dividing the screen into number of rows and columns, each cell can be represented using two parameters x and y, where x represents the column number and y represents the row number of that cell. Like if I am saying 70, 30, what do I mean? 70, 30 means 70th column of 30th row. So in this way, when we divide the entire screen into number of rows and columns, every cell is identified by two parameters x and y. So for every cell on the screen, so for every pixel on the screen, what we need to do, for each pixel on the screen we have to calculate the intensity values. What is this intensity? Intensity means the color. Which color is to be plotted in which pixel? Initially we do not know which color is to be plotted in each pixel. So what do? We can set the intensity value or the color for each pixel as background color. Clear? What did I say? We can set the color or intensity value for each pixel on the screen as background color. Initially, every pixel from the starting row to the last row, every pixel will be having its color as background color, and this is what we do in the initial stage of this algorithm. Okay, so out of two buffers, the first one was the refresh buffer. It is also known as intensity buffer. It is used to store the intensity values for each pixel. Size of this buffer will be equal to the total size of the screen. That means if the screen is having n by m pixels in it, if the screen is having n by m pixels in it, then definitely the size of the buffer will also be equal to n by m. Okay, because we need to store the intensity for each pixel of the screen. So initially all the pixels of the screen will be having same color. So definitely every cell in this buffer will be also storing same color. What is it? It is the background color. So this is the first step we have to do. We have to set all values in this buffer as background color. Now comes the second buffer, which is depth buffer. It is also known as Z buffer. As I told you already, the screen is having number of pixels in it, and for every pixel we need to compute the depth value, that means the z value. Okay, so already we have two values x and y indicating the row number and column number. Now for each pixel we also need to compute the z value. Initially we are unaware of this z value, so we can set the z value as 0. So two initializations are done. For all pixels in the refresh buffer, the intensity is set equal to the background color intensity, and for all pixels in the depth buffer, every z value is set equal to 0. So these are the two initializations done before starting this algorithm. Now what? Let us consider a situation. See, hope you can see this picture. This is an XY coordinate system, and this represents our screen. Suppose in the screen I am going to plot the intensity and the depth of a particular point. Let that point be marked as XY. So I am having a point XY and I wish to plot this point on the screen. To plot a point on the screen, I require two things. What? I require the intensity of this point. At the same time, I also need to calculate the depth value at this point. When I try to see this point XY, I came across a situation where this point has multiple surface intersections. You can see there are three surfaces. This is surface 1, this is surface 2, and this is surface 3. And the point XY is common to all these surfaces. The point XY belongs to surface 1, the point XY belongs to surface 2, and the point XY also belongs to surface 3. If it belongs to all these surfaces, then which surface point should I plot? Whether I should plot the XY point of surface 1, or should I plot the XY point of surface 2, or should I plot the XY point of surface 3? For this, I must know the depth value. Whichever surface is nearer with respect to the viewing person, with respect to the viewer, out of these three surfaces, whichever surface is having lower depth. Lower depth means it is nearer to the person, will have to be plotted. If surface 1 is nearer to the viewer, then the point XY to be plotted belongs to surface 1. But if comparatively surface 2 is nearer, then XY of 2 will have to be plotted. So to determine which pixel position belongs to which surface, we need to identify the depth of these surfaces. Let us analyze it much more closer. Let us assume that this is our screen and we need to plot a point XY, but this XY belongs to a point which is common to all three surfaces S1, S2 and S3. So there are three surfaces and the point which I am going to plot belongs to all these three surfaces. Before plotting the point, I must identify the nearer surface. This is the viewer position. From the viewer's position, S3 is more nearer than S2 and S1. So definitely, if S2 is nearer, then XY of S3 need to be plotted. Clear? Now to determine this thing, what we have to do? We have to determine which of these surfaces is having smallest depth. Smallest depth means if the depth is smallest, then definitely that surface is nearer to the viewer. So whichever surface is having a smaller depth will be selected for viewing. Clear? Now we are moving to a section where we are going to calculate the depth value. How will we calculate the depth value? For this, we require a plane equation, and plane equation is ax plus by plus cz plus d equal to 0. From this equation, we can compute the value of cz as cz is equal to, taking all other terms to the right hand side, we get minus d minus ax minus by. Again, from this equation, z can be written as z is equal to minus d minus ax minus by by c. Now what? Let us rearrange the terms, and we can write it as z is equal to minus ax minus by minus d by c. Both these are same. I just rearranged the terms. Now we got the value of z. So using this equation, we can compute the value of z. What is z? Z is the depth at the point x and y. What are these a, b, c and d? A, b, c and d are the coefficients of x, y and z coordinates. Okay, so if we know the value of x and y and we know the value of coefficients, we can compute the value of z. So using this equation, we can compute the value of z at point x comma y. Clear? Now what? Now the question is, if we know how to calculate the z at point xy, how will you calculate z at other points? That means, if this point indicates xy, what will you call this point? It is a point which lies to the next of the current point. That means it is the next column in the same row. It is the next column in the same row. So we can represent it as, it is in the same row. It is in the same row, but it is the next column. So the plotting point or the pixel can be represented as x plus 1y. If the current pixel, this is represented as xy, then the next pixel in the same row can be represented as x plus 1y. So we know how to calculate the z value at position xy. Using that, we are going to compute the z of next adjacent pixel. Let us see how we can do this. So this time we are going to compute the z at position x plus 1y. So our plane equation was ax plus by plus cz plus d equal to 0, where instead of x, we will be writing x plus 1. Clear? Actually our equation was ax plus by plus cz plus d equal to 0. In this equation, instead of x, we will be writing x plus 1, because we are going to compute the z at position x plus 1y. So substituting x plus 1 in this equation, we will get a into x plus 1 plus by plus c z plus d equal to 0. So this is how we substitute it. Now let us cross multiply. We get ax plus a plus by plus cz plus d equal to 0. From this, we are going to compute the value of cz. Cz can be written as cz is equal to, taking all other terms to the right hand side, we get minus ax minus by minus d minus a. Except this term, all other terms will be taken to the right. Minus ax minus by minus d and minus a. So from this we can compute the value of z. Z can be written as z is equal to minus ax minus by minus d minus a by c. Rearranging the terms, we get z is equal to minus ax minus by minus d by c. Minus d by c minus a by c. That means this much portion is written together and this portion is written separately. So I have written this whole thing as two separate terms, minus ax minus by minus d by c and minus a by c. From this, what is this? Minus ax minus by minus d by c. Let us move to a previous section. See, minus ax minus by minus d by c was the z at position xy. So we can replace it as this term can be replaced at z of xy. That means minus ax minus by minus d by c is the equation used to find the z at position xy. So this whole term can be substituted as z at position xy minus a by c. So altogether we can say the new depth value, which means z dash here corresponds to depth at position x plus 1 y. Z dash means depth at position x plus 1 y. So the depth at position x plus 1 y can be computed as depth at position xy minus a by c, which means for every pixel, the depth will be equal to depth of the previous pixel minus a by c. I repeat, if this is the screen and it is having number of rows and columns, the depth at a particular position, depth of a particular position can be calculated as depth of the previous position, minus a by c. So using this equation you can compute the depth of x plus 1 y. So now we know how to compute the depth at position xy. If we know the depth of a particular pixel, using that pixel you can compute the depth of next pixel. In this way you can compute the z values of all the pixels in the current row. I repeat, using these equations you can compute the z values of all the adjacent pixels in a current row, in a single row. Now how to move from a current row to the next row? We only know how to compute the z value of a current pixel and the z values of all the pixels in the same row. What if we are moving on to a next row? Let us see that too. Suppose we are going to find the depth of a pixel which belongs to the next row. Okay, so if this position is xy, how can you term this position? This indicates it belongs to the same column but the row below. It belongs to the same column but the row below. So it can be termed as x y minus 1, because if this is xy, definitely this point belongs to the same column but a row below it. So definitely we can represent it as x comma y minus 1. So this time we are going to compute the z value at position x y minus 1. Let us see how we can do it. So z at position x y minus 1 means we are going to compute the z value for same column but in the next row, which comes below the previous row. For this we are going to use the plain equation, and instead of ax plus by plus cz plus d equal to 0 in this equation, instead of y we will be using y minus 1, because we are in the same column but we are in a row below the previous one. Okay, so let us substitute the values and we get ax plus b into y minus 1 plus cz plus d equal to 0. Once we obtain this stage, we can cross multiply and we get ax plus by minus b plus cz plus d equal to 0. I repeat, ax plus by minus b plus cz plus d equal to 0. Among these terms, except cz, all other terms will be taken to the right hand side. We get cz is equal to minus ax minus by minus d plus b. So except cz, all other terms are taken to the right, and the terms are minus ax minus by plus b and minus d. Now we are going to compute the z value. Z can be written as minus ax minus by minus d plus b by c. Again separating it into two terms. These all terms can be taken together and this can be taken separately. We write it as minus ax minus by minus d by c plus b by c. So we got two terms, minus ax minus by minus d by c and plus b by c. We know that this term indicates depth of position xy, value of z at position xy. So in the next line we will substitute this by z of xy. So we got the equation as depth at current position, which means depth at or z at position x y minus 1 can be calculated as z at position xy plus b by c. That means if we are having a screen with number of rows and columns and we know the depth value at position xy, then the depth of position just below it, which means it is in the same column but a row below it, can be computed as depth at previous position plus b by c. Okay, so we got two techniques. What are they? We say if we know the depth of a current position, then depth of next position can be calculated as depth of current position minus a by c. Depth of current position minus a by c will give you depth of next adjacent position. Similarly, depth of a position below the current position can be calculated as depth of previous position, that is depth at position xy plus b by c. Using this equation you can compute the depth at next position below the current row. Okay, so in this way you can compute depth values of all the adjacent pixels of the same row, and you can also compute the depth values of all the pixels in the next row. In this way, using these equations, you have to compute the z values of all the pixel positions on the screen, starting from the first pixel on the screen to the last pixel of the screen. Okay, so for each and every pixel on the screen you have to compute the z values using the above equations. Once all the depth values are computed, what you will do? Now you have to compare. What? You will compare for each pixel, if the computed depth value is lower than the depth value stored in the buffer. I repeat, we have two depth values for each pixel. Initially, before we started the algorithm, for every pixel position the depth value was set equal to 0. But using the plain equations, we have computed the depth values of all the pixel positions. So we have to compare the depth values for each pixel positions like this. We'll check if for each pixel, if the computed depth value is less than the depth value stored in the buffer. So this is the computed depth value and this is the value stored in the buffer. If the computed value is greater than the value stored in the buffer, then what we will do? We will replace it in the buffer. That means then the newly computed value will be copied into the buffer. I repeat, for each pixel, if the computed depth value is greater than the value stored in the buffer, then the newly computed value will be stored in the buffer. In this way, we will compare the depth values for each pixel. For all pixels, if the computed values are greater than the value stored earlier, the new value will be copied onto the buffer, and in this way, the depth buffer will calculate the Z values for all pixels and will replace if necessary. Likewise, we will also update the intensity buffer. How? If we are updating the depth value, that means if the computed value is greater than the value stored in the buffer, then we'll definitely update the depth value in the depth buffer. Whenever we update the depth value, then the corresponding intensity value need also to be updated. How? See, if I am updating the depth, to whichever surface this depth belongs, that means suppose I am having 3 depth values for a pixel xy. This is the pixel xy corresponding to surface S1, corresponding to surface S2 and corresponding to surface S3. I will be having 3 different depth values. The Z corresponding to S1 will be, say for example, 17. But when for the same point Z is computed with respect to S2, with respect to surface 2, when Z is computed at the same position xy, we got the value as 14. Similarly, when for the same pixel xy, Z is computed with respect to surface 3, we got the value of Z as 7. This means we got 3 different Z values for the same pixel positions. From this we can identify that S1 is the farthest surface and S3 is the nearest surface. If S3 is the nearest surface, then definitely S3 needs to be plotted. Is it? So out of these 3 Z values, 7 will be selected because it is the nearest point. Avoiding all farther points and selecting only the nearest point. So we got the value of Z as 7. Initially, the value of Z which was stored in the buffer was 0. When 7 and 0 are compared, definitely 7 is greater. That means computed value of Z is greater than the value stored in the buffer. Then what we have to do? Then we have to store the newly computed Z value in the buffer. At the same time, we have to update the intensity also. How we will update the intensity? Out of the 3 surfaces, S3 was the nearer surface, so the definitely intensity of surface 3 needs to be plotted. So we will identify the intensity of surface 3 and the intensity of surface 3 will be copied into the intensity buffer where we had already stored the background intensity. So each time when we encounter that the z value computed is greater than the z value stored in the buffer, at that time we will update the depth value in the depth buffer at the same time to whichever surface this depth belongs. That surface's corresponding intensity value need to be updated in the intensity buffer. So every time background intensity will be replaced by the intensity of the nearer surface. In this way, for every pixel position on the screen, we will be updating the intensity value. At the same time, we will be updating the depth value. So this is how we compute the depth values and intensity values for all pixels on the screen using depth buffer method. Hope the concepts being explained over here are understandable. Keep watching the videos and support me. Subscribe the channel if you are not yet subscribed, and don't forget to hit the bell icon and click on the all options. Take care. Bye bye.